Welcome along to our favourite hour of the week. It's Premier League Tonight. You can join in the conversation using the hashtag PL Tonight. And this evening is special. We'd like to say an extra warm welcome to everybody who's watching this live right now on Facebook or on Twitter. Welcome along. If you want to join in the conversation, it's exactly the same. Hashtag PL Tonight. Anything you want to know from these three guys. So the plan for the first 15 minutes is kind of like quick-fire questions coming in for you three about pretty much any topic. Is that all right? You're cool with that? Yep. Great. OK, we'll get to that in a second. But first, let's have a quick look at the headlines from today. Where Eagles dare, that man with a late winner today for Crystal Palace. They were just gone, weren't they? We had a conversation a few weeks ago and we all agreed they're gone. They're relegated already and suddenly 3 points away from safety. Such is football and such is the Premier League. The other big headline today, Rondon, Salomon Rondon turning on the style today for West Brom. No Tony Pulis, but a really important point for them as well today. And our final headline of the day, Horns blast Magpies. It was a bad day for Newcastle, but Watford once again, and Marco Silva adding to his credibility in the Premier League with a good win for them today as Rio checks out all of the scores. Right, let's get going on it then. Loads of questions that have come in for you guys. So we'll start by diving straight in to Red Knight 19. And I haven't primed any of these. Settle this one once and for all. Who's the best, Frank, Stephen or Paul Scholes? And be honest. Ree?
That's a great start. Unbelievable start.
What a way to start the programme. We'll just sit and watch what he says now, shall we? Get on the fence.
Well, I wouldn't have played Scholesy left wing in the England team.
Who would?
Some managers did.
Yep.
I would have played a diamond and got them all in.
That's not really answering the question. The question is who's the best, Frank, Stephen or Scholesy?
I can't ask him that.
It's an hard question, that. They've all got great attributes. Do you know what I mean? Lamps was scoring 20 goals a season.
Stephen?
What's that?
Who was the best?
You want to say me, Anna?
Correct.
I'm not going to say not me now, am I?
I think, can I just answer that in another way? I think both of them.
Not even here to fight his corner, is he?
I know, but I think all of them would have said themselves. Yeah. And that's what top players do. They back themselves in any situation, and I think each and every one would have had an argument to suggest themselves.
We all know the answer is Paul Scholes. Lukey_000. If you don't need the stress, why would you be a manager? So you're currently managing the under-18s and the under-19s in Europe. I know that you have designs to get into management. You've got absolutely no interest in leaving the TV studio where it's warm and you get well paid to sit here and share your opinions. Is that right?
Who told you that?
I can just read between the lines.
Right at this moment in time, management isn't part of my plans, but in the future, who knows?
Businessman, isn't he? Fingers are in too many pies already.
What about you two then? If you don't need the stress, why do it?
To be honest with you get stress as a player, you become thick-skinned, you love it, you enjoy it. It was a journey of highs and lows, and I'm sure it'll be the same when you go into coaching and management. I love the game, I want to stay involved in the game, and I want to try and grow as a coach and a manager, and hopefully one day I'll be good enough to be a manager at the top level, but it's a dream at the moment. There's a long way to go, but I quite fancy it.
And is it partly, despite all the amazing things you achieved at Liverpool, the fact that still in the back of your head you think to win the Premier League is that one little bit of unfinished business and you'd love to do it as a manager? Is there a little bit of that?
A little bit, yeah. But it's not the whole reason.
The main drive.
It's more about the game and wanting to stay involved and having that daily buzz of working around top players and competing. Every 3-4 days you'd have a different test, different game to challenge yourself out with a gang of players. That's a good buzz for me.
Lance?
It's a challenge, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. Just a challenge of yourself, a challenge of trying to improve players, improve a team. Just the massive challenge. There are stresses, there are many stresses, but it's you have to be aware of them, but take on the challenge. OK. The
next question comes from Laurie. Hello, Laurie. This is a question that's come in on Facebook. Hello to everyone watching the show for the first time on Facebook or on Twitter. True or false, Stephen, did you sleep with the Champions League trophy on that amazing night in May?
It was in the same room as me when I went to sleep, yeah, because we were in a party till early hours in the night.
Not in the bed? You weren't wrapped?
No, I wasn't in the bed with the quilt on it, no, but it was in the room. So, however you want to read into that, really.
If I'd have won that, man, I'd have had it in the bed with me.
I lost my medal.
Did you?
That night. Did you? Well, I had a few drinks, yeah, and I was with Jodie Morris, a friend of mine, was in the team party, and a few drinks. Well, yeah, let me try that on, and I forgot about it completely.
He's probably got it at home.
The next day he sent me a picture.
Did he? Did he keep it?
He sent me a picture of it in the morning and a beer in the next morning.
Have you got it back since?
Oh, yeah, it's back now.
Yeah, good. Yeah. OK, another one that's come in for you again, actually, Stevie. This is from Henry, also on Facebook. Stevie, you said that in the week you were still drunk from 2005. A year on, what was the party like after that game?
Yeah, it was messy, as you can imagine. Went on till the next morning, basically, and then we'd done a team picture outside the hotel, got on the plane and got past another beer, so basically kicked right on, and then we went into the centre that night, kicked on again.
Love it.
So I probably had about, 10 hours in the next 4 or 5 days sleep.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a messy party for 3-4 days.
Nice.
Might as well.
Lots of people taking the opportunity to ask you questions. Kelv UK, Stevie G, are the Reds lacking a true leader on the pitch like Cara 23? I think all three of you can answer this. All three of you were leaders. Is that what they're lacking?
I think this team will always miss a player like Cara because he was an organiser. He was a fantastic leader, especially for me. I was more of a quiet captain, if you like. So to have a voice like Cara behind me, organising everyone. Obviously, Liverpool have had defensive issues this year, so of course a player of Jamie's quality would improve them. So yeah, I'd probably say yeah to that one.
Yeah, I think they're missing that. But I think in today's game there aren't too many out there in the market as well. So when Klopp's looking to buy someone, you hope that he was in for Van Dijk. You hope that he'd be able to come in and have the stature, the personality, the presence to lead a team. Because I do feel they're lacking something like that in the team. When things aren't going their way, you get the vibe that people are looking around more to the bench than someone on the pitch. And I think that's something that they need to change really to maybe take this team on.
I think you need a few. I don't think it's one person. Jordan Henderson's the captain. He looks pretty vocal where he stands up and speaks, but you need a few.
They need more then? Is that what you're saying?
I just mean personalities and characters.
You can never have enough, can you? You can never have enough leaders. Managers always say we need everyone to lead and everyone to be vocal, but a lot of players
There's less of that now in the game. We spend a lot of time actually talking about players afterwards, and all three of you often say, oh yeah, they're quite quiet. They're quite a quiet guy.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not good or not good enough. They're just different personalities. Jamie was quite loud and vocal and organised, and it worked. But you can still do that if you're a Matip. You don't have to be vocal. You can just do it the way you play and the way you lead and being in the right positions. But it's a bonus if you're a team and you've got 5 or 6 vocal leaders and the good players. It's a bonus.
You need people to demand off each other. I think that's a part of it as well. Not just shouting for the sake of shouting. You've got to demand certain standards of people, not just on the pitch for 90 minutes, but the training ground through the week. There's standards that are going to be set throughout a training ground that are going to come out and bear their faces during the 90 minutes. So you've got to get it right in the training ground. And there's players within the club, not just the captain, 2, 3, 4, 5 players who will always demand that, your timekeeping, your quality of training on the training pitch, etc.
OK, as you can see, we've got loads of questions. We'll get to those in just a couple of moments. But if you've not seen Premier League Tonight before, it's a show all about the fans, and we have to get videos sent in to us, and we've got one now from Gareth, I believe. Gareth, the floor is yours.
My question for the panel would be, if you continually throw results away, 2 in the space of a week, how do you keep on lifting yourselves? How do you go into your next match believing you can win the match? OK, so Gareth's gone sort of negative on the result, I guess, then, for Liverpool today. What do you think?
Yeah, you've got to dust yourself down. I used to get a hangover from games when I was at West Ham and at Leeds. The hangover would last 3 or 4 days. And it was the mentality when I went to Manchester United was a stark contrast to that, in that you'd get a draw away from home or you'd lose, but there'll be something positive to take out of it, maybe a result from another team. You'd find something positive to get you through the next couple of days. The team that you're chasing maybe drop points as well, draw a line under it straight away. Look at what they've done, and we're still within a shout. Draw positives from somewhere to keep the positivity through the camp.
I think it just goes back to what we said before: personality through the team, mental toughness. You lose games. I wouldn't say today was a big issue. Played against a good team and you drew 1-1. The result in the week was different, but you need big personalities who stand up and go again.
I think they were unlucky today in terms of how the equaliser come about. I think they've got to take the positives out of today's performance, dust themselves down and move on to the next couple of fixtures, which are winnable on paper, but they need to perform to the level they did today for 85 minutes.
OK, here's a question from James on Facebook. Jose has said tonight he's offered Carrick a place on the coaching staff. Thoughts on that, Rio?
It depends what place and how influential will be, but I think that's...
He's the kind of guy you want to keep.
It's a great gesture because Carras has been a great servant at Manchester United. He's a fantastic lad. He's got a lot to give back. He's very intelligent, and he's doing his badges. I'm sure he wants to stay in the game in a coaching capacity as well. So it's a great gesture.
I'm interested in this one from Matt Ashton. Actually, he said, "Was it right for Everton to sack Koeman without Plan B in place? I've never known such a mess." Look, this has gone on for weeks now. They clearly didn't have someone else lined up when they decided to get rid of him. So. Or if they did, that person hasn't made the decision to join them. So how is it ever better to not have a permanent replacement lined up than it is to have Koeman in charge?
Well,
how could
they have had a plan B and it was Unsworth. And for whatever reason, they haven't had that lift or that buzz from someone else coming in, and it hasn't worked, no. So they need to find a replacement pretty quick. But I think they're going to find it out getting Silva because he's flying at the moment, and I'm sure Watford are not going to let him go.
It's not a good situation for Everton. Spend all that money, build that team, and they sort of seem rudderless now, don't they?
Yeah, hard to call it now, whether it would have been the same with Koeman or not. I think they were right to make the change. And it seems like Silva's the one they've really gone for in the last...
But only right to make the change if you can get a replacement, surely. Or you have your...
They would have had a meeting, I guess. We're going to sack him, Unsworth is there, and we're going to put him in for that period of time and see how it goes. Unfortunately, it's gone from bad to worse, and then this becomes a real issue. So, yeah, maybe have someone ready to go, but they didn't, you know.
I think you look at the recruitment in the summer in terms of in the attacking positions. Yeah. When you look at Everton in the last 3 or 4 years, they've had quick players, Lukaku, Morales, Delafau, quick, wide, quick strikers. Yeah. They went completely opposite this year with the recruitment. Players of quality, but no real pace. And in today's game, as we see today, the two players making a difference for both teams, Hazard, Salah, pace.
Yeah, the man leading the recruitment at Everton remains there, and the manager is the one who goes.
Yeah, well...
OK, George asks a question also on Facebook. If you weren't a footballer, what would you have done? Good question. Good question. I can't imagine any of you can think of anything else really other than just kicking the ball about. What was it? What would it have been?
I don't know. Maybe a trade. I don't know. Maybe a trade to fall back on. I haven't got a clue. Always wanted to be a footballer from a young age. Worked ever so hard to get there, but I'm not sure what my plan B would have been.
A lawyer.
That's a slightly different answer. What?
I'm not as bright as Frank.
It's a trade, isn't it?
None of us are as bright as Frank. It is a trade, yeah, it is a trade. Not a bad one
I used to watch LA Law, and you remember that.
LA Law.
Remember LA Law?
That was unbelievable.
Love LA Law.
Are you watching Suits now?
Suits
I've got a bit bored of it recently. Yeah, I did. It got a bit complicated.
That's where Harry met his missus, wasn't it?
What about you, Rio?
I don't know. I'd work for the council. I'd work for the council with the kids. Probably all my mates work with the council with the children and the youth clubs and stuff. I'd have probably fell into that, if I'm honest.
OK. How is the boxing going?
It's all right. Not bad.
Taking any
hard work. It's hard work.
Is it?
Yeah. Very different to football. Different type of fitness, but it's enjoyable.
OK. Nat9900. Who was the joker at your... You think your eyesight's all right until you read these, don't you? Who was the joker at your respective clubs?
Oh.
But you've had a few.
John Moncur at West Ham was the funniest man I've ever met in football. He was just a lunatic. I remember we had training one time, and at West Ham it used to be first come, first serve with the kit, with the tracksuits and the wet tops. It was a day raining, really cold, dirty, murky day, and everyone's got their gear, run outside to start warming up. We used to do a lap of the training ground first, straight away. So we're all doing a lap, and then Monks just comes out in a pair of football boots and socks, nothing else, and a pair of slips, that's it. And he said, I got here late, boys, no gear. Do you want me to train or not? And the lads were like, what's that? But he was a lunatic, wasn't he? Crazy guy.
School joker, yeah, he was, wasn't he?
Good guy.
He's the main one I've had. At Chelsea, we didn't really have anyone sort of mad like that.
We were speaking about young Davy Tomo earlier on. In the early days, anyway, when Tomo was about, he was a joker, always lifting the dressing room with banter, jokes, always at the hub of it. And then Cara was the opposite. He was the only one who dishes the verbals out and killed people every 5 minutes.
Ruthless.
Andy says, are Spurs in need of a winger of real quality as they find it hard breaking teams down? They've offered the suggestions of Mahrez or maybe Wilfried Zaha from Palace. Frank?
Yeah, I think we mentioned this in midweek in the Champions League coverage of Tottenham. Huge credit for what they've done they've built over a few years, but are they one player still away, a creative, attacking winger, attacking midfield player away from being where they want to be?
OK, a couple of quick ones. How do Stephen and Frank think they would have done in a Pep midfield?
I'd have loved to have played in one of his midfields, That's the way I like to play, pass and possession, and play through, and obviously what a buzz it'd be to have him on the sideline trying to coach and improve it as a player.
Same.
Who would Rio have in his Man United attack?
What do you mean? Signing?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Who would you like to sign up front for United?
Or is it Lukaku or Ibrahimovic?
You'd have Lukaku, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Lukaku, but you can pick and choose and put Zlatan in against the teams that you'd expect to beat, I think.
And finally, from James on Facebook, thanks for all these. The toughest Liverpool centre mid Frank has ever come up against, aside from Stephen?
Xabi Alonso. Quality
player. Brilliant. Look, if you're watching us on Twitter, if you're watching us on Facebook, thank you very much for all your questions. We've been absolutely inundated. We really appreciate you getting in touch with the three guys. Sorry we couldn't get through all of them, but we will do this again. And if you like what you've seen on Premier League tonight, the show continues. We've got loads to talk about, loads to do. So join us right now if you wish to, over on BT Sport 1 if you're watching us online. For those of you who are watching on BT Sport 1, stay where you are. Get your 3-word match reports into us right now. Who you are, who you support, and the 3 words that sum up your team's performance today. And Premier League tonight continues after the break. See you in a second.